Hey my Suga Bears, welcome back to my channel, Bougie AF. It's your host, OGJackeeNicole. It's where I say stay bougie on them. It's me feeding you feminism for the soul. It's my soul food offering. It's where I apply pressure to issues by being critical and logical. Now don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get to the commentary where I can guarantee you I will be doing too much because that's just me. And like Sheree said, who's gonna check me, boo? What else is out there that I actually just want to talk about? We already talked about Tabitha Brown. I stand for sis. The way she can deliver, I would not cross her. Any other stories? You know what? Since we here, and I don't want to, you know what? I don't want to do a whole video on this, but I do want to talk about it. So DJ Akademiks says he hates Meg Thee Stallion and she's overhyped because she is a black woman. So is there any audio to this? Because I don't necessarily feel like I think he always just look like he's been drinking. Look at his eyes. I don't want to think that DJ Akademiks is out here hating somebody that he does not personally know and that someone who hasn't personally did something to him. I don't want to think that about him. But I do understand a man hating a woman that may seem as though she's using her womanness in certain ways that aren't fair and have an opinion about it. So I don't knock him for having an opinion. I think there's a lot of people who, if you were me and you looked at the BET Awards, you've seen Doja Cat be mentioned and not be there performing. I thought that was a problem. I think creatively, performance-wise, there's nobody who, new artist-wise, making a name for themselves. There's nobody touching Doja Cat right now when it comes to creativity, and that's a period on period. And that's not to be disrespectful. But I also found it very hypocritical when we were talking about Doja Cat and you're talking about Akademiks and me talking about Doja Cat and we're talking about Akademiks and we're talking about how he feels about Meg Thee Stallion. When you see other people not getting recognized from what seems to be because someone who has a machine, has a machine behind them, you start to be like, okay, I hate this. Like, I hate the dishonesty of it. I will tell you, like, watching the BET Awards and not seeing Doja Cat be included, I hated the dishonesty of that, right? So I can just imagine DJ Akademiks watching and, you know, being a fan, and we can speak. We are commentators. That's what we do. We offer our opinions about things, but it just seems like it seems dishonest. We know her album wasn't like it didn't sell. It was actually, by standards, a flop, right? But when you wait almost like a year to acknowledge an album, it's going to, of course, do numbers from when it dropped to like almost a year later, right? So it's going to give that illusion of being a multi-selling album or something like that hit all types of numbers. And in reality, those first week numbers and those second week numbers weren't necessarily what anybody should, standard wise people would be like, oh, it was a successful album straight out, and that just wasn't what it was. It grew and probably sold over time, but it wasn't by any standards a measurement of what you would want as say that my first album was dope. And I think a lot of people were like, oh, she got nominated for a Grammy and all of that other stuff. But it's just like, you got nominated for a song for a Grammy that had Beyonce on it. And do we have to say anything else? It had Beyonce on it. So I'm going to go to the source.com because I do want to find the actual story. I want to see if they posted any video. But I want to see the actual story behind this because I think he has every right. But like I said, I don't think he hates anybody because it shouldn't be that personal as a commentary. Someone who just provides commentary. I know for me, please don't think I hate anybody. I mean, there's some people I strongly dislike. I mean, if I had to think of people I hate, if you're wondering who I may hate while I do this, if it's not somebody like R. Kelly, who is accused of touching children or something like that, a very strong dislike for someone like Charlemagne the God. If it's not somebody like that, because of his accusations of having to do with children and stuff like that, then if it's not that, I can't see myself hating. Now, some people who like make excuses or violence against women, and this always seems to be passes for certain men. Yeah, I don't like that. I strongly dislike it, most definitely. But most definitely, damn, they're gonna make you go to the website. But hate is strong. I think hate is strong, and when you can hate somebody you don't personally know and they don't personally affect your life, I think the problem is more you than them, because you're walking around hating at somebody that doesn't know you exist. Like, that's weird. No, real talk. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. That's weird. And that's just how I feel about it. So I am really just trying to find this article. Sorry, y'all. I'm still getting used to all this. And I made the assumption that that was going to give me more content in terms of what DJ Akademiks actually said in terms of like his actual words. I don't want to report it without actually getting his actual words, because I just think that's dishonest. There's a lot of stories. I feel like sometimes people put certain things out there and they'll be like, "Oh, this person said that," and they'll be quick to put a little clip in there, and that little clip will like kind of prove the narrative that they're trying to go with. But at the same time, when you go back and listen to the actual full album, you're just like, okay, that's not what they said. But if you just take the piece that supports what you're trying to say they said, then yes, that's most definitely, I guess it works in that way, but that's still dishonest. And I think the last time we seen that done was when people tried to say Cat Williams was here for cancel culture, and that's not what he said. I think I saw that in the video before, but if you go back, and listen to what Cat Williams said in that Joe Budden interview, he actually said nobody that's actually been canceled did not deserve to get canceled. So meaning that, I can understand it, I'm not against it, but I don't think it's happened unnecessarily. And that's a different that's different than saying I believe in a culture or a mob mentality that says that if I disagree with you and the majority disagrees with you, that you're canceled. That's not what he said. I think he truly was just saying, if you do something that is so out of bounds that people can't get past and people feel so much feel away about it, you know what ends up happening? Your sponsorships goes away. People don't want to work with you. That stops happening. Your fans fall off. Like, things like that happen. And that's the natural progression of, like, that's what it means to be canceled. Like, you see result of people no longer supporting you. I think a lot of times where we see people think they're canceling people, and then you go to their page and they still pop and they still got tons of activity, still got tons of people down and supporting them. So it's just like, okay, they're not canceled, but the world just thinks because they get mad and have a temper tantrum that everybody falls off. So I think he basically says when someone is truly canceled, you'll know, right? They won't have any opportunities. They'll get dropped in any other, like that will happen. Those things follow, not just because everyone's just mad overnight. You know how many times a fucking B. Simone has been canceled? How many times Charlamagne has been canceled? You know how many times some of these people have been canceled? We gonna get to Janet Hubert slams Felicia Rashad's celebratory tweet for Bill Cosby. And she says, I know 5 women who have not come forward. And hey, we'll get there. Casanova Associates face death penalty in Gorilla Stone Nation RICO case. I don't know how... I'm not going to talk about that too much because I ain't from the street, so I don't really do too much street shit unless it's like major news, and that's not in the news headlines right now this week or last week. But I will say this. If you still fucked with Casanova in terms of like being a part of the Gorilla Stone Nation after he went on the Breakfast Club and told people if he had to snitch, that he think it's all right that he snitch because he's the big dog and, you should just expect it because you should be more concerned about him being saved in the organization. If you heard that nigga really sit on a national syndicated show and say that how he feels like it would be okay for him to snitch, and the greater picture and the greater scheme of things is his life and his freedom, and you still went and fucked with that nigga and did some crime, I think you might deserve life. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't lie. I won't lie to you. I'm keeping it 100. I would have been done then. Changed my phone number. Probably would have went and grabbed some shit from the stash house. Robbed a nigga or something like that. But I would have never seen a nigga again. Like, you're dangerous. Like, ooh. So you automatically letting me know that it's most definitely you over me in the most grimiest way. Like you breaking all types of code. Mm-mm. Where is it? All right, so we're still looking for the Akademiks interview. I might cut that last part out. I just said, but come on, let me see. I've never been to this website before, so some websites are a little bit more friendly in the sense of you can search it to find what you're looking for. And some websites you have to do exactly what I was just doing, which is scroll down and keep going back, and I hate that shit. And I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to get it off this website because he interviewed here. All right. I know I knew better than this. The best way to search is to do the Google and write things in. So wait. So you want to do Akademiks interview with the source and see where we get from that. See, wasted all that time going down on that page, and here it is all the time. Let me turn this up because y'all, my volume don't be loud on my videos, and so when I put it in iMovie, I be having to turn it all the way up. I'm gonna have to learn because there's something I must be doing wrong because there's no reason unless I have to really get on my fucking mic and be yelling. All right, so here we go. DJ Akademiks says he hates Meg Thee Stallion and she's overhyped because she's a black woman. Agreed. I agreed. I agree. I think she's overhyped. I think at some point in time, there's nothing wrong with saying show us something different. But on top of that, you have some questionable behavior that's not solid. It's not solid at all. And I will always be in these streets saying that Tory Lanez deserves to go to jail for what he did. There's no reason you should ever have a gun in your hand. Whether or not Meg may have been drunk and off the hook and have no concept of what respect is until she met Party, of course, from her own words, that she didn't learn respect until she met her current boyfriend, which was really concerning that she wanted to put that out in the atmosphere, which is really weird. Yeah. I said this before. It's really weird because it's like basically one, you went through this traumatic experience where this man disrespected you, and then you came back months later saying that, oh my God, all is well. I am so much better now. I've learned to respect so much, so that thanks so much to my boyfriend. He really taught me respect. And it was just like, what? Y'all know the womanist, feminist in me. Like, what? Is that the message you want to send out? After you literally been out here telling these girls to use these men as rags? Like, are you serious? That you're going to want to tell us the very thing you learned as a child, which is respect, that you want to attribute to your newfound learning of that to a man? Okay. Okay, girl. Okay, girl. We're going to play these games after you talk the way you talk. And that's what I think it's hard for a lot of people to understand, because there's a certain, when you talk a certain way, you got to back that up with a certain action. And with her, it doesn't seem like that. Very loose, very all over the place. I think there was video I seen her at some party, and she was still the girl who was overly doing it, like sloppy and messy, kind of looking like. But anyway, I do think she loves use being a black woman. I felt this way when she allowed her best friend Kelsey Nicole to be accused of being the one sleeping with Tory Lanez behind her back. So the way when it first came out, it was thought to believe that Kelsey was messing with Tory and was mad at Meg, when come to find out it was Kelsey originally talking to Tory, and Meg was the scheming ass friend. And so the problem was that Meg let the public think whatever they wanted until the court date, until everything really got down to it, and it just had to be acknowledged that she was messing with him, and she felt like her best friend at the time was actually on his side, because I guess in the car it just all came out basically. And I guess at the time her best friend was really mad and didn't want to fuck with her, so she just assumed that she had switched sides on her. So she went and made a lot of public statements, and this is what people don't get. Meg had made some public statements that insinuated that Kelsey was not a good friend and that she betrayed her. I say that to say that is very important, because when you talk about Akademiks saying that she's overhyped because she's a black woman, and that I feel like she uses that black woman, especially with the whole support black women and stuff like that. I think she knew she used her platform to make her best friend look a certain way and stood back and did not correct the public. And it worked, and she felt like it was working, and it worked in her benefit. She was performing everywhere, protect black woman, and all this other stuff. Let me tell you something, you'll never play in my motherfucking face when you talk about protect black women, when you don't protect black women yourself. So at that point in time, you are not in the community, okay, girl? Because you don't protect black women. You let that girl hang. You let her get threatened. You let people think all these bad things. Until this day, you still haven't corrected. What you did was get your ass when it came out. What you did was when she put out her song and she put out her response about what happened, what you did is get your ass on camera and say, oh, I'm not responding to any more because y'all gonna think what y'all want and it doesn't help. No. You don't get to pick and choose, because you've been responding this whole time, but the time it came to clear it up for her, you didn't want to respond. You's a bitch ass. You ain't shit. So I most definitely can feel how DJ Akademiks could feel some sort of way about her behavior, because it's questionable. It's very questionable. You got the whole people coming out talking about you taking their work. I feel that you've seen some of my tweets and seen some of the things I've said. I've heard lines in your work that sound weird as fuck, that don't sound like you. And your creativity suggests that you're not that creative, girl. And it was also, and I'm not even going to take the time, but I knew something was up when I watched the video of her, and she was talking about in school. This is at the beginning of when, like, right before she like sizzled over and like really popped, and I had become a fan. So I'm going to her page, and it was this video she used to keep, and it was pinned, and it was or maybe I seen it on YouTube, I'm not sure, but I thought it was Twitter. But there's a video where she just talked about school and, how her classmates are really smart, and how she wanted to open up some like seniors. Y'all in there, y'all know what I'm talking about as I continue to talk. You know what I'm talking about. And she wanted to open up some type of senior citizen and some type of healthcare facility place. But she was like, oh no, but yeah, I'm gonna hire everybody that I'm in class with or go to school with, because they're so much smarter than me, and right then and there, I thought that was really weird for somebody to highlight how they're not the smartest in their class, and then to follow it up with like my classmates. I trusted my classmate. I don't know, I thought that was weird, because I felt like I don't think I would want to admit that. Like that seems, the confidence level seems down. And then, are you really that smart? Or are you one of those people who can, long as you show up and do the work, and do what's required, you pass. And that's a real thing when it comes to school. As long as you show up and do the work and hand in all the assignments, whether or not they're the best, whether or not they're the most creative, or any of that other stuff, can be a whole nother thing. That doesn't, as long as you do it. And it just seemed like that. So when I started to hear about how, or it seemed like she was like taking people's ideas, creative ideas, and me feeling some sort of way when I hear certain lines and stuff like that. And I'm just like, I'm a nobody, right? So there's no reason I should feel that way. But I just think when there's smoke, there's fire. Because how does all these people come out and say that you play them, or your music sounds similar, or they hear certain things? I don't know. I just don't think all of that is by coincidence. And then same thing with Tory Lanez. Somebody came out and accused them. So you can be a nobody and be putting out like your ideas and stuff like that. And somebody can most definitely act like they don't see you. They don't reshare. They don't show you no love, because you're a nobody. And so they just think nobody's going to catch on. And then they take your shit and they go make money off of it. And I think there was just times that I believe that she does that. That's my own personal belief. And because even if you just look at what she does put out, we're always sitting there like, okay, what's the next step? Like, what are you gonna give us something different? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I keep on saying the awards, the BT awards, just seemed like dishonest because there was just no growth in the work she's been putting out and the videos and the concepts and all that other stuff. And that's why I was like, okay, y'all got mad at Doja Cat for y'all say that she was being racist or allowing white people to say racist shit to black people, and she was cool with it. But the minute you have a chance to acknowledge her and make her feel a part of a community that tried to hold her responsible, y'all didn't show up for her. And I think that's some shitty ass shit, to be completely honest with you. You're not gonna hold me responsible and at the same time don't fuck with me. So just don't fuck with me altogether and don't ask me why I said a motherfucking thing. And I should think that should just be Doja Cat's attitude without saying it. I say it for you. Like, fuck y'all. Like, fuck y'all. Did you invite her? I want to know. Fuck y'all. Let's get back to that. Look. Ooh, I got into that. So let's get back to it. All right. DJ Akademiks says he hates Meg Thee Stallion and she is overhyped because she is a black woman. Since the start of her career, Meg Thee Stallion has proved herself to be Texas' hot girl coach who advocates for protecting the black woman and has fire bars. So, like I said, first time reading this, y'all seen that as first time pulling this up, and that's what the part that aggravates me about who advocates for protecting black women and has fire bars, but you don't protect your best friend. Wait. On top of that, let's talk about what allegedly, and all this shit is allegedly, and in case I forget it, just all know it's allegedly. Let's talk about Asian doll and how you had opportunity to put her on a song which would have helped elevate her, and you passed on her for somebody else. When you already have such a successful machine behind you, you could have helped girl out. You could have helped sis out, but you put, I think, JT or you put the City Girls on the song and not Asian doll. So every time you get an opportunity to show up and show that you solid, you don't show up solid at all. And that's why it was like hysterical. Not hysterical, but that's why it was like, girl, you have the nerve to expect loyalty out of the baby with doing a song with Tory Lanez, and you can't even respect your day one or your homegirl that came into the game with you or was holding you down as a friend. Yeah, all right. Get that, do that song, the baby, because that should be some fucked up shit. Like, everyone's looking at you like, loyalty. Like, some people, like, no, don't fuck me over and ask me for loyalty because I don't have it for you. And I'll be completely honest, period. The nerve, the audacity. Motherfuckers will play with you and be like, but you, and think that you love them so much that you'll allow them to play with you. Don't ever. The thought shit rapper has already collaborated with heavy hitters in the industry, such as Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and more. So she's done collaborated with the best of the best. Like, and when it comes to men, like, they literally have to be in the game, make a name for themselves before they would, and I want to point this out, before they would work with someone like a Jay-Z. Like, Jay-Z's not working with, like, a Meg The Stallion in terms of getting on a record, first getting into the rap game. So that's why it's really, that's why he's saying it's because she's a black woman. Like, you've worked with every fucking body, right? And your album barely sold. You're getting people are making exceptions for you without you having to have prove yourself, because this was Good News was her first album. She had put out mixtapes out before, but there was no, like, there hasn't been an album out that really kind of solidified like her doing her thing. So, like, when you think about somebody who put out a great first album or put out great works and then they start working with like great people, let's say, who puts out great albums that should, okay, I mean, you can feel however you want about Cardi B in terms of the level of her skill set when it comes to rapping, but she's put out great albums and her albums have sold, right? And if you can't see that, then why you keep on getting afforded the opportunity to make music with people who've already proven themselves? And so when you're talking about Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, you talking about Ariana Grande, someone who's maybe young, but she's extremely established and has sold in the game, right? So when you start seeing someone who are able to get those type of features but not getting those type of numbers, I think you do have to say there's something dishonest going on here, and y'all playing with us. And it'd be one thing if we're getting out dope music, but at the same time, even the people that are getting cosigns and the people who are getting the features, seeing Wale do a feature with Coi Leray, it's just like Coi Leray, and that's concerning because he actually can rap. And just to see that people are willing to co-sign people because they're doing that sex sells, or I'm gonna be completely honest, I think Coi Leray, it's because she's light skinned, and that's just how I see it, because I think Yeah, that's how I see it. That's the benefit of being mediocre and being light skinned, and doing music within the black community. Because I think, she is mixed. I mean, I don't think you guys, I think she's mixed with like Puerto Rican. Benzino is Cape Verdean and something else, okay? I don't think it's black. I think it's like Cape Verdean and Puerto Rican and Cape Verdean and I'm sorry, Cape Verdean some okay, this is complicated, but if you're not from like Massachusetts or the Boston area or an area where Cape Verdeans are, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. But Cape Verdeans, the country of Cape Verde is off the coast of Africa near like Portugal and Spain and stuff like that. So they have a population where some of them do consider themselves like white people, like they consider themselves white Portuguese Cape Verdeans type of thing. And then you have the portion, because like I said, it is off the coast of Africa. You can meet some people from Cape Verde or in Cape Verde that are as just dark as me. Benzino's family, that light skinned Cape Verdean, could be considered themselves white Cape Verdeans. Okay, so you take that as you may on what you want to say what Coi Leray is in terms of black, because like I said, her father's Cape Verdean and I think Puerto Rican and Dominican, and I think her mother is Spanish, a full blown Spanish. So it just is what it is. But when you have people in real fair skin like that, just like a Cardi B and now Coi Leray, who are in our community making black music, then they get benefits and they get breaks that a lot of women doing the same thing they do don't get, that are really talented, right? They end up having to work 3 times hard. So I'm not taking anything from them, but at the same time, I'm really trying to figure out why Coi Leray was nominated for a BET Award. Last year, the rapper faced a heavy load of controversy following a shooting incident that involved singer Tory Lanez. While many had things to say, DJ Akademiks has always been outspoken on his opinion regarding Meg Thee Stallion. This time, Akademiks explained why he has hate for the rapper. Oh my God. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, saying that it ain't that serious. We do commentary. And here go DJ Akademiks like, I hate Meg Thee Stallion very hard. This nigga. Oh man, I tried to be open-minded. I tried to give people the benefit of the doubt, but clearly I can't. He says, "I hate Megan Thee Stallion very hard." He begins his statement, because you can't be objective. So I guess I'll start by saying this: I am now in belief that Meg Thee Stallion's career has been propelled, overhyped, and also put on a pedestal because of this whole black girl magic, protect black women. I'm sorry. You just imagine him saying this. He added, but everybody's review of Meg's album. She just dropped it. It's called Good News. It's mid. It's mid. And if it was anyone we liked that dropped a mid album that wasn't being seen as a victim, lift and just act like the fact that she's doing it is good enough. What? Wasn't being seen as a victim. Lift and just act like, I don't know what he's trying to say. Act like the fact that she's doing it is good enough. So I guess he's saying, like, if she wasn't be seen as a victim, you guys would be able to see through the fact, or stop acting like, because she's just trying and she's doing it and that's good enough. And it's as if though the quality of what she's doing doesn't matter. And that's the same thing Coi Leray is doing, where she's trying to act like the quality of what she's doing doesn't matter because of how she's being treated emotionally. So she'll try to, I don't know, do all types of weird shit to make you concentrate about shit that has nothing to do with nothing. Like, girl, I hear you. They are talking about your outfit that does not look good on your body because of the outfit. But I hear the music and that doesn't sound good at all. Like, them don't outweigh the talent, right? So I hear the music and it don't match up. The consensus would be, Meg, you missed, try again. Right. Like, if it wasn't for her being associated with Rock Nation and Beyonce and having did Savage with Beyonce. Now, just to remind you, there were some songs on Good News that I did like, and I'm not going to mention them because, like I said, I think she's a really dishonest person, to be completely honest, and she's not solid. So I don't have to. Akademiks then goes on to explain why he believes Meg Thee Stallion is an industry plant and why he doesn't think that the awarded rapper success is organic. I agree. Meg could fart on the song and we would be like, oh my God, that is sweet. Sweet sound of being a victim. Protect her. She is a black she's black and she's a woman, he added. Meg could fart on the song and we would be like, oh my god, that is sweet. It sounds like being. Okay, I read that part, right? Okay. This wouldn't be the first time that Akademiks has shared his opinion on the Texas Hot Girl. What do you think about his opinion? Okay, so I guess we're going to hear it in his own voice. I wish I would have seen that before because I wouldn't have read all that.
So I guess I'll start by saying this. I am now in belief that Meg Thee Stallion's career has been propelled, overhyped, and also put on a pedestal because of this whole black girl magic, protect black women stuff. I'm sorry. This is what, and okay, fine. I'm one of the media personalities that some people listen to. But listen to everybody's review on Meg Thee Stallion's album. She just dropped this called Good News. It's mid. It's mid. And if it was anyone we liked that dropped a mid album that wasn't being seen as a victim who we need to uplift and just act like the fact that she's doing it is good enough, the consensus would be, Meg, you missed, come again, boo. You could do better. But that will not be the conversation. That won't be the conversation, y'all. Meg could do no wrong. She could fart on a song and people said, oh my God, that is the sweet, sweet, sweet sounds of being a victim. Protect her. She is black and she is a woman. Y'all tell me if I'm tweaking. For all that, yo, but Meg could really rap shit. Okay.
Cosby also has to be
all right. I'm gonna indulge you. Meg could really rap. Who the fuck is Meg rapping? You see, that's the thing. Meg gets this prop, she gets popped up for oh my God, whatever. Yo, for girls, she whatever. Yo, let's be clear, bro. I'm not saying. By the way, I've heard a song where she kept up with the baby, but let's be clear. Is Meg rapping better than the baby right now? Is Meg rapping better than Lil Baby right now? Nigga, is Meg rapping better than even Roddy Ricch right now, nigga? Nigga, I think that's she's not being thrusted into conversations based purely not on music, based purely on circumstantial shit. Tory fucking just shot her, which means everything the song she dropped, Shots Fired, compared to Tory's intro for his album. And by the way, I want to give you some premise. I was one of the niggas who said, yo, Meg might flame Tory if she rapped at his ass. I said, I don't know if you want to keep rapping at Meg. Meg might flame his ass. Instead, I listened to what Tory gave us, and I could play both songs right now. And I listened to what Meg gave us. I'm going to be honest. Meg, if no one's telling you this, I don't care if you're a victim. I understand there's a time and place to speak about that. That's not of discussion in this argument I'm making. Step it up. That was weak. That felt like one of your freestyles you were putting up on your goddamn Instagram. It was weak. Now, it might feel a little personal when I compare you to, obviously, somebody who may be an abuser. But for everybody who said Tory's shit was trash, you can't listen to the first song of Tory's album and listen to the first song of Meg's album. They're basically talking about the same incident. And if you could, with sane and sound mind, say that Meg is rapping even near the level that Tory is, you're blinded by the whole victimology thing. You're blinded by the whole protect black women thing. It's fine. Black women need to be protected. And victims need to be upheld. But that shouldn't just fuck up the whole conversation of music. Meg is getting every fucking award, and I'm trying to think, why? I'm here, I'm like, why is she getting all these awards? For what? Is it because she made a song because I'm a savage? What the fuck? I don't want to speak for Nicki because she don't like me either. Big Zoo supposedly is on the hunt, but apparently Big Zoo is, taking care of his child right now. Congratulations to Nicki and Big Zoo. Nicki would get flamed for these fucking subpar bars and mid shit. Like, yo, Nicki would get killed. She would get fucking killed. Meg is giving us mid shit, and she's getting praised. Oh my God, she can rap. I kid you not. I kid you not. And I get it, she got a ghostwriter. But it wasn't this year. Was it last year or 2018? Cardi B's feature run was more impressive than some of the stuff I'm hearing from. Bruh, I'm just saying this shit not hitting, bruh. Like, she could, not saying she can't rap, but if the bar is, you know you talk to a kid who you don't even think that she can compete. Like, when somebody says, oh, she could rap, like, what does that mean? She could rap better than who? Like name some people. Who she rap better than? Now, she is a better rapper than Cardi B, don't get me twisted. But, like, her performance on records, sometimes it don't feel as, for the hype she's getting, I don't get it. Can anybody name that one quintessential Meg Thee Stallion verse that you're like, whatever? Obviously, we say Monster for Nicki. But even if we go to Cardi, shit. First and second verse on Bodak Yellow. I'm sorry. I get it was a breakout song, but shit. What the fuck even verse do you even know by Meg? I'm just a little weary because I believe Meg, through Rock Nation, the industry, the pussyfied industry, they're uplifting her because of a lot of things she stands for, a lot of people who she represents, a lot of people who are being abused and victimized, but they're uplifting her at the expense of other artists. They're uplifting her through music.
Facts.
By ignoring mid shit, acting like it's the greatest shit since sliced bread. I used to think maybe one time she could kind of compete with like Nicki and get. Nigga, she can't even hold Nicki's jockstrap, bro.
Oh my God, why Nicki gotta have a jockstrap, man?
I'm sorry, it's men. Open the comments. Maybe I'm tripping. I might be. I had to unfortunately report that his projections decreased from, it was like 170. That was the projections. To now 135. Polo G hit me up today, by the way. He said, "Act, what's your number?" So me and him will probably have a conversation. I'm pretty sure he either saw I was listening to his.
All right, so we got DJ Akademiks thoughts, and I think pretty much we're on the same thinking when it comes to Meg, and I was just as objective as I could possibly be. If you followed me on Twitter, if you know me, I was a big fan of her mixtape Sugar. I was a big fan of her, but I just, for me, it's about like keeping it real and not being fake, and where nobody is perfect and we're all human, but I think there's something to be observed when you see inconsistencies with numbers, when you see inconsistencies with the actual product being good compared to what's else out there, and you see someone constantly being rewarded, and if it on top of that you see someone trying to project a message that they're not about. If it is truly protect black women, you should be showing up for the actual black women in your life and not it coming across as though it's a tagline or it's about a way to appeal to people. I think some of these young girls most definitely got the sympathy game down. I think Yeah, and I think we see it. I think, like I said, another video that I did about, and I mentioned Coy Leray, on how she really kind of leans into trying to make it seem as though she's being bullied, or she's being body shamed. Anytime you have to offer critique to her, and anytime you have to offer critique to people, and sometimes I have to say it because I am black and that's who I'm speaking to, right? Anytime you have to sometimes offer critique to our own people, it's always looked at as if though you're trying to bring that person down, or how dare you. And it's just like, okay, wait a minute. When you're doing when you out here and you doing your 1-2 step and you're putting yourself out there, and you guys are stands yourself in terms of like how much you put out there, in terms of how much you want people to pay attention to, right? So when you have celebrities who are living their life for their phones that they go press record for, living their life by in the sense of their business that they put out into the street, then it's just like, okay, so are you really doing this because you want nobody to pay attention to it, or do you, or what? Or you want to be selective about who pays attention to it and who sees it and who speaks upon it? Sort of like that same type of bullshit Tamika Mallory tried to pull in that video that I did, where I said, where she says you got to make sure the right people are asking the right questions and not trying to be divisive. And it's like bullshit. Anybody can ask questions, and if it don't hit, or if it is not valid, then it shows up. But you don't try to set the scene on who should be allowed to ask your hustling ass a question. You get what I'm saying? And that's the same thing where a lot of these young girls will try to do in terms of like asking them questions, and always trying to make it seem like, oh, keep it positive and all that other stuff. Toxic positivity is also a real thing, right? Where everyone wants to walk around in this state of positivity and never really addressing anything, never and acting as if though things aren't bothering them. And the key to overcoming these things, or getting getting over it, is just to be positive in the face of it. And there is something to be said. I think positivity is dope, of course, and I don't think I'm not advocating for there not to be positivity, but what I am advocating is for people to be accountable and be responsible, and sometimes have those hard conversations that you don't want to have, or take those hard critiques that you don't want to hear, because it can always just make you better. I know I had caught Coy Leray when that video came out, and she was a video and a girl was at her concert, and there was a video of her mouth open because she couldn't believe, I guess, couldn't believe what she was hearing in terms of quality, in terms of what was being sung by Coy Leray. And I guess it wasn't a song that she knew, so I guess that's why she was shocked. But it was really funny to me that the girl later on came out in a video, because that video, her original video, made the internet, and they were saying, oh my God, she's tanking. They were just saying really bad things, and how they didn't like her music. No matter where. And how they didn't like her music. And so Coy Leray was just talking about, oh, it gets so hard at the top. And it was just like, oh, top. Now, how do you define at the top? I guess we all have our definitions, but she really came out and made it seem like people were just hating and not wanting to support her because they see her on the come up. And it was just like, are we allowed to say that shit was just awful? But anyway, the girl comes out and says, oh, it was just that one song. When they played the song that we knew, we were dancing. So I wrote underneath the comments, I said, so why did you release this and make it seem like people weren't fucking with you, or people were being mean to you, if the crowd then got into your performance and enjoyed it after they heard songs that they recognized? Long story short, basically they didn't get into that performance from the beginning to the end, and I just think the girl was just trying to save face. And because there was other comments that said no, it was still whack. And yes, that one song that we did know, we kind of danced, but it wasn't given. You get what I'm saying? So it's consistent on like her performance wasn't given. Again, why does it seem like certain people, and I think that's what DJ Akademiks, I mean, he's not talking about Coy Leray, but he's talking about Meg Thee Stallion and her association with Roc Nation. But why are certain people given passes to behave and to no, I'm sorry, not to behave, but why are certain people getting passes to be mediocre? Because they're pleasant and they're sweet, and they just show up and say nothing, and they're sweet and naive, and niggas could eat off them? Because that's what it's coming across, that niggas are eating off her. That's what it comes across. Like, I don't care what nobody say. if I had to sit back and think about what I'm seeing with Meg Thee Stallion and all these awards and all this other stuff, how many ways can you cut a pie? Because everybody trying to get paid off her. And so with that being said, it needs to appear as if though she's successful and she's winning, even if it may not be the case in terms of what she's putting out, in terms of what she's selling and who's buying it, right? It needs to appear, because the more you fake it, you just fake it till you make it, and it seems that way. Y'all know them boys in 1501 and Carl and them need to get paid. You know, Rock Nation needs to get paid. Like that contract is not cute. Folks need to get paid, so they're doing whatever, and so maybe she needs to work her ass off and put this shit out so she can get away from them folks and get out some contract situations. But at the same time, don't kill yourself. I'm not kill yourself, but don't kill your career by not putting out great work. All right, so it's like get with whoever you need to in terms of writing and expanding your content. And put out some dope work, because nobody's against you. Don't want you to win. I'll never say I hate you, but there's some stuff about you that I see that I'm just like, I don't know. And then she had put that song that she did with DJ Khaled, in which she was like, I'll take food out your mouth if it means feed my people. And it's like, well, you could also just go and just earn it though too. I don't know. I just thought that was a weird ass message when we're talking about you taking food out of people's mouths by stealing their content, like, and stealing their work. Like, what type of fucking message was that? That was weird. So she's just not a solid ass bitch. That's just my opinion. Kind of how we do over here. I'm gonna tell y'all, keep it bougie, keep it posh, and I am out. Oh, I'm sorry, before I go, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. All the links and everything will be listed below. All right, my Suga Bears, I'm out.